second half that allowed them to create even more separation and pull away with this one?
I don't know if it was just the second half, Amanda. Felt like it was just the whole game. We were just credit to them. They're incredibly good on defense. We weren't able to get in the paint. Some of that is Bam, but some of that is just their overall ability to guard one-on-one. So couldn't get an advantage. You have to take a couple tough threes. That's probably why the percentage is down. That's why our assists are only at 13. So just leads to a lot of one-on-one creation, and that makes it hard. So credit to them. Great job of defending. I know they got in late last night. We just weren't able to find it.
Then just looking at Isaiah Livers, some energy plays for you, a new season high too. Just how did you see him make the most of his opportunity?
Yeah, we talked about putting him in there, and then felt like he had some pop. Again, a guy that hasn't really played much on that road trip, or at least the last couple games, and we need some energy. So always ready. Appreciate everything he does to keep himself ready and available, and then when his name is called, able to go out there and impact.
Coach, looking at the three-point shooting, obviously when Devin's out there, he creates so much gravity that leads to open looks. How much do you feel like that factored in the looks you guys at least got tonight?
Yeah, a ton. He's able to create that first domino so many times and make the right play. Talked about it all year, like his ability to get off of it at the perfect time, have a feel for the game, have a feel for his teammates, is unmatched anything like I've been around. So without him out there and their ability to switch really affected us. And then we tried to get on the glass and weren't able to convert those. Obviously missed them, but we've been there a couple games before, even on the road trip in Detroit. Just weren't able to put a couple in to keep that gap closed. I thought overall our defense was pretty solid. They do a great job of just driving the ball to the rim. Like, obviously, we'd like to have a couple of those possessions back where they got right to the rim, but overall, you hold them to 42%. Tried to keep them off the free throw line the best we could. So put ourselves in a position defensively to be in it. Just couldn't make enough shots.
Then just a quick follow. You guys usually force more turnovers than you did tonight. But when they're going one-on-one, if they don't turn it over, then that's obviously not creating one. So how much of their offense is just the rarity of it leads to how you guys defended and maybe affected those numbers?
Yeah, a little bit of both, Dwayne. They do share it. They get to a point where they do share it once they get into the paint, but they're not a ton of passes to get into the paint, and they don't bring a second offensive player in there and to play pick and roll where we force a lot of turnovers. So, but in Miami, I thought that really changed the game in the second half where we were really able to apply our pressure, and again, that helps your offense when you're able to take it from them. So, not good enough, on that part of the defense, but I thought overall our defense was overall pretty good.
Jordan, to your point, 41.9 defensive field goal percentage. It felt like the second chance opportunities that you all conceded was kind of what hurt you and kind of gave them a little bit of rhythm after you started sustaining. What were you seeing from the second chance opportunities that you did concede tonight?
Yeah, I think they've done it the last handful of games, top five, if not the best offensive rebounding team in the last 5 games. So we knew it coming in, and they don't do it with their overall, 7-footers per se. They just do it with their length, and they go, kind of what we do. I did think there were some plays where we cut it down, and we got it to 7 or 9, and then they'd get a second chance and make a shot. So all of it's hard. You come off a road trip, you got to be almost perfect. And we were in it. We were in it for a handful of spots, and we just weren't able to quite get over the hump.
And then in the half court offensively for you, I know you talked about the emphasis on paint touches versus their defense. I know you weren't able to get those, but what else was it maybe that you were looking for that you weren't able to kind of execute to the level you needed to tonight?
They make it tough. They switch. Like that when you can switch across the board, have great size, they're really good in their help. We'll have to take a look at, they just clear a gap and then drive it. At some point, our efficiency, and I think in both games, at least it wasn't the first half here, in the first game against them, like we were able to drive it once we had the gap. They do such a good job of being in the gaps that we weren't able to quite drive it enough. And then that's where you can find some catch and shoot threes. And I think we had some out there. We just weren't able to convert our 3-point looks. And it's a game of inches. A couple of them go in. The spirit's a little bit different. You're just looking to try to get over the hump, and we just weren't quite able to do it.
I know some of the more unconventional looks from three when it comes to like pull-ups early in the clock, the ones from like 4-point range, things like that, you want guys to keep taking, but how do you make up for those not going in like other areas on nights like tonight?
I mean, when they don't go in, people say something about it. I mean, it's pretty typical. I think you got to get a shot up. We'd obviously love to get better, high-quality shots. We'd love to get to the rim. You'd love to get to the rim every single possession if you could. That's not what we have. We have guys that can really shoot off the dribble, and we have guys that go get it off the glass. In transition, ideally, you get to the rim like the best we could. So, and some of their switching, we did feel like we had some pockets to shoot them. I'm not sure all of them were off the dribble or off multiple dribbles. Some of them were off a catch, and then the second guy would come up, and they did lead to some longer threes. So, I mean, anytime Grayson Allen gets up 11, Royce gets up 7, that's usually a good sign for us. Just didn't work out tonight.
And to your point, the totality of the looks, like the number in the mid-30s without Book, you'll take that, right?
Yeah, I think that's the way we have to score. Without Book, without his paint presence, we're going to have to find a way to shoot some high-quality looks, and obviously we'll take those pull-up threes rather than some tougher twos. So, again, love to get to the rim best we can, love to get to the free throw line best we can, and outside of that, we'll take our threes.
Coach, it feels like, I mean, you alluded to it about the half-court offense and sort of things stalling, but I'm just kind of curious for you, when it gets to that point, what sort of learning opportunities you take out of it in terms of establishing that half-court offense, especially without Book or Jalen on the floor?
Yeah, it's hard. Feel helpless, to be honest with you, at times. You just felt it in Atlanta, when they really got into us. We went a little bit without a traditional 5 tonight. We ended up getting there. But you're just looking for a gap. You're looking for a gap to then get into the paint, to then spray out. We just weren't able to crack that gap. So we'll take a look. It's obviously we're learning on the fly. Somehow to get a paint touch, to get an advantage is ideal.
Hey, Jordan, do you expect Green to be back on Tuesday night?
I think, like we said earlier, he worked out today. Doesn't appear to be anything brand new from the MRI, anything different of the injury. So we'll see how he responds from today's workout, which what I saw looked good, but we'll see exactly how he reacts tomorrow. And if he's ready to go, we'd love to have him.
So he's questionable.
That injury report usually comes out at 5 p.m. the night before a game.
But as of now.
As of now, he was out tonight.
Right.
Yeah. He was questionable. They turned that out.
Hi, Coach. I just wanted to touch on John Marie. I mean, he played today for 13 minutes. He's coming back from concussion protocol, but he played with the Valley Suns on Wednesday. He had 27 points there with them. How do you plan to continue using him, especially with Booker and Green now, and needing to rely more on that depth?
Yeah, JB was out for a little bit, but that's why we threw him out there. He's a guy that we talk about getting into the paint, his speed, his ability to get downhill, and then he had a good night the other night in the Valley. So love what he brings, his speed, his ability to get downhill. We're going to need it without Book. So we threw him out there. His first time back in a while. I'm sure he'll get more in rhythm the more times he gets out there. So overall, I thought that especially the second stint was better for him, and we'll just continue to emphasize how does he help us, and his way of helping us is getting down the hill and into the paint.
One more Valley Suns question. How did the plan materialize for Rashir and Kaman to play a full game with them and then to, make an appearance for you guys tonight? And what did you make just of that kind of day for them?
Yeah, just the early tip. I think the early tip helped us, which I think continues this week. So just the early tip allows them to go play their minutes, get them experience, and then still be around us, which we really enjoy having those guys around. And then at the end of the day, they got, again, more NBA reps. So any opportunity like that where they can get there and back is ideal, and we'll continue to use that. Thank you.